Hi everyone. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create section perspectives. And you might say, what is that? And so this is a section, which is the two-dimensional representation of the building cutting through the buildings. So that's kind of what it looks like. This is a section perspective. It's very similar. So where this is being cut is same over here, but inside of the sections is being projected through the perspective. So like you can kind of see the depths in the each of these spaces, what's going on over here, how the garage doors might be uh, uh, placed, or the windows and things like that. This is a this is a nice way to kind of show um, interior spaces as well as the sectional quality in your drawings too. So this is what I'm going to show you how to create this. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to go about this. So first thing that I'm going to do is introduce a clipping plane, and I'm just gonna kind of place it over here, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to grab this red arc and press shift while I'm pressing shift, uh, and that will kind of rotate this at 90 degrees, and then I'm going to kind of move this into the building wherever I want to see the cut. Much like how we did in the sections, so I'm gonna kind of have it somewhere over here. Let's just say I would like that to be somewhere I'm cutting through this door over here for the closet. Yeah, so that's kind of a first step to do that. And as you probably remember, these doors, I'm just going to hide this because I don't want to quite see that in this section perspective over here. So that is probably good. And now I'm just going to take a look at this section again. Is somewhere you probably want this to be somewhere kind of like have the that can show the vertical connections and that can show different depths of the space is probably where you want to see. I'm going to create a new layer called clipping plane over here, and I'm going to place this clipping plane to this layer so that so that I will know where to find this. Sometimes this gets lost somewhere. Right. Now I'm going to place the camera. So essentially what we want to do is we have to place a camera. But before I go do that, we right now by default the camera is invisible in Rhino. So if you click on this next to where it says perspective, and go click on the set camera, and if you click on this show camera over here, nothing will happen in this view. However, if I double click on this perspective and go to other views, that this camera icon kind of shows up. And as you move this, kind of like this, you can see the camera is moved in the other views as well. So if I kind of do that too, like you can see how it's kind of moving in and out of this. So that's pretty important. So that's the first step I have to do. And then to create the section perspective, you have to type orient uh, camera to south over here. So orient camera to south and hit enter. And then that is going to ask you for the select surface to orient the camera to. And then if you have the walls that's perpendicular to or the parallel to the creeping plane. I'm just going to cancel this right now. But for example, in my case, this wall, this surface of the wall is parallel to this creeping plane. Then you can just click on this surface. If you don't have anything, let's just say like these walls are kind of like this, right? So then, in these cases, and I'm gonna control Z to bring that back, you can create a box, let's just say somewhere over here. And you can use the surface of the box to uh, um, orient the camera to. And what I mean by that is, so basically, if I go to the top view over here, if I look at it from the top view over here, this creeping plane is parallel to this surface over here. So that's what I want. And then you can type orient camera to surf and click on this surface over here and click it again. And that will create the camera. And this is easier to see from the top. The camera is looking at to this surface straight on. So how this line is kind of straight over here, and that's what you want it. And this is important because so that means this in this view right now, this section that's the where it's being cut is also graphic as well, but you are still seeing that space beyond in the perspective. So that's what you want to have. And if I were to move this by pressing right click, for example, that changes this camera orientations, and that so that we have to be really careful after do this. So I'm going to type orient camera to surface again and click on this and then click on that again. So now you can see from the top view over here, you can see this line is the camera origin point and this is a camera target point. And those 2 points are aligned on the straight line. And that's what you want to see from the top, as well as from the right view as well. This is a camera origin point and this is a camera target point. They are on the straight line over here, and that's what you want to see, and that's what you have to have for the creating the section perspective. And now if I were to select this middle button, I can kind of move this camera to the side, so you can see that this is kind of being moved in the perspective view. It's also I can kind of move this up and down to see where I actually want to have the camera. I want to kind of get closer to this like this and maybe adjust the height of the camera. So as the camera goes up, the part of the seating, the area that you can see the seating becomes like less, but you can see more of the floor at the lower floor. So then actually I want to be able to see a little bit of the floor for the upper floor as well as the lower floor too. So I'm just gonna kind of adjust somewhere like this so that I can see seating floor of the upper floors and lower floors. And this, let's just say, is what I want to have. And looking at this seems a little too large in this view. So I'm going to zoom out by pressing Control and right click to kind of zoom out. And when I do this, you are not really, when you zoom in and out like this, you're not really moving the camera angle. So like if I go back, this is still straight and that is still on the straight line over here. So that's what I want to have. And then I'm gonna kind of pan this in kind of in the middle and maybe zoom out a bit and move this up a little bit by pressing Shift and right click. Yeah. So then let's just say this is the view that I want to create for the section perspective. Now I'm going to type named view enter, and this pops up. If you click on this icon, you can save the view. So I'm going to call this perspective, section perspective. Perspective one. Okay. So now if I were to kind of change the viewpoint kind of like this, but if I double click on it, it gets back to this view, and that's what I want for this.